Welcome students. Today we are going to discuss about income under the head capital gains. First, meaning of capital gain. According to section 45 subsection 1, any profits or gains arising from the transfer of a capital asset effected in the previous year is chargeable to income tax under the head capital gains. For example, Mr. A, an assessee, purchases a land in 2019 for rupees 1 lakh and sold the same in 2020 for rupees 1 lakh 50,000. Here the profit is 50,000, that is 1 lakh 50,000 minus 1 lakh, right? So 2019 is called as year of acquisition, that is எந்த இயர்ல அவங்க purchase பண்றாங்களோ that is called year of acquisition. 2019 is called as year of acquisition and 2020 is called as year of sale, which year they sold the concern asset. And rupees 1 lakh is called as cost of acquisition, that is purchase cost. They purchase the land, the cost price is rupees 1 lakh, right? So this is called cost of acquisition, and 1 lakh 50,000 is called a sale value. You already know about that. The sale value is 1 lakh 50,000. And rupees 50,000, that is 1 lakh 50,000 minus 1 lakh is called as capital gain. Okay, the sale of the asset, they are arising some profit. This is called capital gain. Okay. Okay, now we are going to discuss about capital asset and non-capital asset. What is capital asset and non-capital asset? According to section 2, subsection 14, the term capital asset means property of any kind, whether fixed or circulating, movable or immovable, tangible or intangible, held by the assessee. The term capital asset, however, does not include the following assets. So, other than the following assets, it's called all the assets are called capital assets. Okay. What are the assets are called non-capital assets? That is stock in trade. Okay. First one, non-capital asset, stock in trade held by an assessee. And second one, assets used for personal effects. Okay, the assessee used the assets for personal effects. For example, TV, fridge, washing machine, etc. Except jewelry. The jewelry is used for personal effects, but this is comes under the head capital asset. Okay, so the assets used for personal effects, all the assets are called non-capital assets except jewelry. And rural agricultural land. Fourth one, gold bonds, special bearer bonds, and gold deposit bonds. Other than these assets, all the assets are called capital assets. Okay, in the assets தவிர மத்த எல்லாமே capital assets. Okay. Next, we are going to discuss about types of capital assets. There are two types of capital assets, that is short-term capital asset and long-term capital assets. Moreover, this is also further classified into financial assets and non-financial assets. Financial assets means equity shares, bonds, debentures. These are all called financial assets. Okay, non-financial assets means land and building. Other than that, all the one is non-financial assets. Okay, see, short-term capital assets, section 2, subsection 42A. A non-financial capital asset held by an assessee for not more than 36 months. Okay, or asset வந்து 36 months or less than 36 months குள்ள ஒரு assessee வச்சிருந்தாரு அப்படின்னா, that is called short-term capital assets, immediately preceding the date of its transfer. Okay, in the case of land and building and unlisted shares, இது ரெண்டுக்கு மட்டும் they held by an assessee 24 months. Okay, 24 months or less than 24 months, short-term capital assets. And for financial assets, that is equity shares, debentures, bonds, 12 months or less than 12 months means short-term capital assets. More than 12 months means long-term capital assets. Okay, so financial assets less than 12 months and non-financial asset. Okay, house property, land and building, non-financial assets less than 36 months held by an assessee means is called short-term capital asset. Okay, and in the case of land and building and unlisted shares, 24 months or less than 24 months means short-term capital asset. Next thing, long-term capital asset. It means a capital asset which is not a short-term capital assets. இதெல்லாம் short-term capital asset இல்லையோ, all the assets are called long-term capital assets. That is more than 36 months. The assets held by an assessee more than 36 months called long-term capital assets. And in the case of land and building, assets held by an assessee more than 24 months. And in the case of financial assets held by an assessee more than 12 months. All the assets are called long-term capital assets. Okay, is it clear? And next, we are work out this simple problem. Computation of short-term capital gain. How we compute the short-term capital gain? This is very simple. For example, Ms. Abhirami purchased land in A Limited on 1/10/2019 for rupees 2 lakhs by paying a commission of 2%. She sold away the above land for rupees 10 lakhs on 25/1/2020 by paying 5% commission. Compute capital gain for the assessment year 2020 to 21. So first we are checking here, this is the short term or long term. How we check this one? That is, he purchased a land October 2019 and sold a land January 2020. Right. So totally he held the assets the month of October, November, December, January 25 days. Totally 3.5 months. So the assets held by an assessee for land 24 month land and building 24 months or less than 24 months means short term capital assets, right? So this is a short term capital assets. So we are calculating this one. Computation of taxable capital gain of Miss Abhirami for the assessment year 2020 to 21. First we have to be taken sale value. Sale value is they have given here 10 lakhs and less expenses on sale. They sale the expenses on sale is here 5%. So 10 lakhs into 5% is 50,000. Now 10 lakhs minus 50,000, 9,50,000 answer. That is the net sale value. And less cost of acquisition, that is cost of purchase. The purchase price is here 2 lakhs. And add expenses on purchase. What are the amount they are spending to purchase the particular asset? They spend 2%. So write 2 lakh into 2%, 4,000. Totally the cost value is 2 lakh 4,000. Now less 9,50,000 minus 2 lakh 4,000. The balance is called taxable short-term capital gain. Okay. So short-term capital gain means this is very simple. Sale value minus expenses on sale and minus cost of purchase includes expenses on purchase also. Okay. In simple, sale value minus purchase value, the balance is called short-term capital gain. Okay. And next one, computation of long-term capital gain. The asset is long-term capital asset, or to compute the long-term capital gain means we have to calculate the indexed cost. Okay, the indexed cost inflation index they have given in the problem. What is the cost inflation index? Okay, see. Okay, see here, Ms. Chitra purchased, just a minute. Okay. See, asset acquired by the assessee before 1/4/2001, long-term capital asset purchased before 2001 means how we calculate the indexed cost. That is cost of acquisition or fair market value. They will be given in the sum. Okay, fair market value and cost of acquisition. Whichever is higher, we have to be taken the amount which is higher and into 289, that is the sale year indexed cost, divided by purchase year indexed cost. That is, if the asset is purchased before 2001 means you have to mention only 100 for the purchase year indexed cost. Okay, this is constant. 2001 க்கு முன்னாடி எந்த asset purchase பண்ணிருந்தாலும் அதுக்கு என்னதான் போடணும், நம்ம CII 100 தான் போடணும். Purchase year indexed cost 100. Sale year also not change ஆகாது. ஏன்னா assessment year 2020 to 21 நம்ம calculate பண்றோம். So this is also same 289. So if the asset is purchased before 2001 means cost of acquisition or fair market value, whichever is higher, into sale year indexed cost divided by purchase year indexed cost. Purchase year indexed cost is 100. And the asset acquired by the assessee after 1/4/2001 means how we calculate the indexed cost. The same method, cost of acquisition into sale year indexed cost divided by purchase year indexed cost. Very simple. And calculation of indexed cost of improvement. The assessee doing any improvement for the particular asset. சரி ஏதோ இம்ப்ரூவ்மெண்ட் பண்ணியிருந்தாங்க அப்படின்னா அதுக்கு எப்படி கால்குலேட் பண்றதுன்னா காஸ்ட் ஆஃப் இம்ப்ரூவ்மெண்ட் இன்டூ சேல் இயர் இண்டெக்ஸ்டு காஸ்ட் டிவைடட் பை காஸ்ட் ஆஃப் இன்ஃப்ளேஷன் இண்டெக்ஸ் ஃபார் த இயர் ஆஃப் இம்ப்ரூவ்மெண்ட் எந்த இயர் இம்ப்ரூவ்மெண்ட் பண்ணாங்களோ அதோட இண்டெக்ஸ்டு காஸ்ட். ஓகே, சி sum. Ms. Chitra purchased a house property on 1st September 1981 for rupees 2,10,000. எப்போ purchase பண்ணிருக்காங்க 2001க்கு முன்னாடி purchase பண்ணிருக்காங்க. That is 1981 rupees what 2,10,000. Fair market value 1st April 2001 was rupees 1,70,000. So we have to be taken whichever is higher, that is purchase price or fair market value, whichever is higher. So we had selected only 2,10,000. She incurred the following expenses: construction of a room on the ground floor during 1995 to 96 rupees 10,000. And one more thing you have to be remember, if any improvement are done by an assessee before 2001 means just ignore, no need to take on this. Okay, the improvement you have to be calculated only, they have to be done after 2001. So yeah, 2001 க்கு முன்னாடி எந்த இம்ப்ரூவ்மெண்ட் பண்ணிருந்தாலும் just ignore. And renewals and reconstruction in 2014 to 15, that is the second improvement, 2014 to 15 3,92,000. So we are taken only this amount. The property was transferred 2020 for rupees 28 lakhs. This is the sale value. Compute the capital gain. They are clearly mentioned cost inflation index. CII means cost inflation index 2100, 2019 to 20 289, 2013 to 14 220. Okay, so long-term capital gain means how we calculate this. See this computation of income from capital gain for the assessment year 2020 to 21. First, we have to be taken sale value 28 lakhs less indexed cost of acquisition, that is indexed cost of purchase, that is purchase price, that is cost of acquisition or fair market value, whichever is higher. I already told you 2,10,000 or 1,70,000. So here we have to be taken 2,10,000 into sale year indexed cost. They are given in the sum 289. Okay, and purchase year indexed cost. The asset is purchased before 2001, so we have to be mentioned only 100. So 2,10,000 into 289 by 100, the amount is 6,06,900. And next, indexed cost of improvement 2013 to 14, and before they are doing one improvement, that is 1995 to 96, that is just ignore. So indexed cost of improvement how we calculate means 3,92,000. Cost of improvement price is 3,92,000 into sale year indexed cost 289 divided by 2013 to 14 indexed cost 220. This is clearly mentioned in the sum. 2013 to 14 indexed cost 220. So here we have to apply 220. So 3,92,000 into 289 by 220 means 5,14,945. Now you add this two, that is total 11,21,845. Now the balance is called long-term capital gain. Okay, this is very simple. And next we have to work out the problem, the asset purchased after 2001. Okay, just a minute. Okay, listen here. Mrs. Aruna sold her residential house for rupees 12 lakhs on 31/8/2019. She purchased the house for rupees 1 lakh during the previous year 2011 to 12. She spent 2% on sale as selling expenses. She purchased another house 12/6/2019 for rupees 3 lakhs. Okay, so this is 2020. 12/6/2020 for rupees 3 lakhs. Compute her capital gain. They have given the CAA 2011 to 12, 2019 to 20. Okay. So how we calculate this? Write the heading, computation of income from capital gain for the assessment year 2020 to 21. Sale value 12 lakhs. Selling expenses, that is 12 lakhs into 2 percentage, 24,000. Now the balance is called 11 lakh 76,000 is called net sale value, and less indexed cost of acquisition, that is indexed cost of purchase. Cost price 1 lakh into sale year indexed cost 289 divided by purchase year indexed cost 184. Okay, they purchased in the year 2011 to 12. Purchase year indexed cost 184. So we are applied here 184. The amount is 1,57,065. Now find out what is the long-term capital gain. That is 11,76,000 minus 1,57,065. The balance is 10,18,935 is the long-term capital gain. And one more thing. Now the assessee spend purchased another house on 12/6/2020 rupees 3 lakhs. So here you have to write less exemption under section 54 investment in new house. The new house value 3 lakhs. Now the balance is called taxable long-term capital gain. Okay. Thank you, Ma.